What's up everybody, another beautiful day on the Dragon Isles, and today we'll be taking a look at a potential Havoc Demon Hunter build, featuring a few booms and boom booms, and if you want a more in-depth guide on what's new for Havoc, I have one of those videos out as well. So this build revolves around throwing glaives, blowing up packs with momentum-empowered Ragefire Immolation Auras, and then throwing everything plus the kitchen sink at them in between for some insanely fun burst, or boom booms. So starting off, we'll spec into all Immolation Aura talents as well as most of the glaive talents. So Fellfire Heart for longer Immo Aura, Burning Hatred for more fury generation from Immo Aura, Growing Inferno so each tick increases its damage done, and any means necessary so all your elemental damage is now chaos damage so it scales with mastery as well, and slaps just a tinsy bit harder. And then we have Ragefire, so each time Immo Aura deals damage, 35% of its damage dealt by up to 3 crits is gathered as Ragefire and goes kaboom when Immo Aura ends. And to further improve this, we have glaive talents. Furious throws, so that your throw glaive costs fury and you throw an additional glaive each time. Accelerating blades increases its damage by 25% for each enemy hit, and Soul Rend leaves a dot that deals 120% of glaive's damage as chaos damage, making for an extremely slappy dot on AoE. And then we have Burning Wound, which procs off both glaive and demon's bite, which leaves a dot/debuff on up to 3 targets, increasing their damage taken by Immolation Aura by 50%, which of course makes Ragefire slap even harder. Now to set this up further, for both single target and AoE, we have momentum or movement talents if you will. So first out is Initiative, damaging an enemy before they damage you, or when you use Vengeful Retreat, you gain 12% crit for 5 seconds. Unbound Chaos, activating Immolation Aura increases your Fel Rush damage by a modest 400%. Then you have Tactical Retreat, lower cooldown on Vengeful Retreat, and it generates 80 fury over 10 seconds. And then finally Momentum, Fel Rush, the Hunt, Vengeful Retreat increases your damage done by 8% for 5 seconds. So players with more Havoc playtime than me will be able to pull off small burst windows with this, where you have Momentum and Initiative running for Immolation Aura as it stacks up Ragefire, then Momentum again when Immolation Aura expires to get the damage increase on that detonation. And on top of this, you generate a ton of fury due to Immolation Aura, Tactical Retreat, as well as Sigil of Flames with Flames of Fury, and Demon Blades if you spec into it, which helps sustain all of your abilities without the need to spam Demon's Bite. And speaking of, it is possible to run this with Demon Blade if played properly, or Demon's Bite if you want more control over your fury gain. Now to top this off, we also get Chaotic Transformation for I-Beam and Blade Dance reset on meta, and looks can kill, so I-Beam always crits for more AoE pad. Know your enemy, gain an equal amount of crit damage to our crit chance. Critical Chaos, so that the chance to refund fury from Chaos Strike is increased by 50% of your crit, which helps a lot with the Chaos Strike sustain on single target. And then we combine it with Blade Dance talents for both single target and AoE damage. First Blood for a dot on first target hit by Blade Dance, Dancing with Fate so the final slash deals more damage, and Trail of Ruin so that final slash also leaves a dot on all the targets. And finally, in the Havoc tree, we slap Essence Break and Fodder to the Flame on top of it. Now Limit Break for some insane burst damage on AoE, and it increases Chaos Strike as well as Blade Dance damage by 80% on targets hit by this, which you can also combine with the aforementioned momentum buffs. Then Oh Father to the Flame, returning from Shadowlands, spawns a demon which explodes on death, healing you, dealing tons of damage to all mobs hits, and spawns a Demon Soul which increases your damage done by 20% for 15 seconds. So it becomes a little mini nuke when it spawns, and if it gets hit by your glaives, it instantly dies. So when this spawns, you can either insta-pop it with glaives mid-pack or save it a little bit to line up with other cooldowns and smack it before that. Now going over to the class tree, main thing to take away is Sigil of Flame with Flames of Fury, Aura of Pain for Immolation crit, Master of Glaive for an extra glaive charge, Demonic for I-Beam Demon Form, and Collective Anguish for I-Beam Fel Devastation, and finally the Hunt, which deals an absurd amount of damage and procs momentum. So with all of this combined, you'll be slapping away glaives on cooldown, which deals a ton of damage on AoE as well as single target. Also empowers Immolation Aura damage and Ragefire damage, which you further empower with Initiative and Momentum, sprinkled with a few I-Beams, giving you meta for stronger Chaos Strikes and Blade Dance, which you can can line up into essence break windows for even more damage. So how does all of this play? Well, occasionally extremely hectic, as you have like 6 buttons you want to get off at the same time, and there's a lot to keep track of compared to the last time I played Havoc. But everything, or most things that I've noticed, synergizes extremely well, so you're either slapping out insane bursts or getting ready to set up another insane burst window, and everything just flows really well. That being said, if you're used to a low button build, this is no longer it. I wouldn't go as far to say it's super complicated, but it's no longer like a 2-3 button build you just spam, and it seems to reward proper play a lot, playing into the momentum talents and different setups to maximize damage increase, uptime at the right moments, something that I most likely did not execute too well. However, you get pretty dang far by just slapping glaives, I-beams, and immolation auras, I'll tell you that much. But there's so much more potential into the build than I was able to pull off while testing. Need a few more hours playtime on it. So yeah, extremely fun build, works really well on AoE and single target without any modification to the build, which is something I am a big fan of. Of course, I love being able to make different builds and min-max talents, but it's very feels bad if your build is all aces on AoE and then you get to a boss, which dungeons tend to have, and you hit like a soggy wet napkin, which Havoc very much does not. It's one of them crisp napkins. Now all of this being said, this is beta. Take everything with 1 to 5 grains of salt. Things can drastically change at Blizzard's whim whenever they do tuning passes, which I honestly hope they don't for this. I really like this build, and I love the fact that we can build stuff like this now that just works so well. Let me know in the comments what you think about this Havoc build. Don't forget the usual stuff, like, comment, subscribe, and ring that notification bell. It really helps me out. I also stream progression and testing on Twitch, Stankie Gaming. There will be Twitch drops when Dragonflight launches. Make sure to check out my Patreon if you want to help support me, my work, and my goal of upgrading my computer. As a patron, you get access to the Stankie Discord, where you can get help with anything raiding related. You can also get things like video shoutouts if you're a patron, so check it out. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time.